the most important step in nails. I'm going to debate Tracy on this, aka we're going to fight right now on the Biz Talk.
I don't know what's any different than any other time. Like, you love to argue.
I don't know.
Debate, not argue. There's a difference.
I like to explore all options. I like to play devil's advocate. I like to ask a lot of questions. I like to exhaust the path.
Oh, you exhaust. Don't worry.
I know I do, especially you. I like to exhaust the path just to make certain that we've explored every angle.
You don't understand. He will literally,
understand.
like, we'll be discussing something and he starts in with the questions and you're like, oh crap, he doesn't agree. Like, you start getting this like anxiety, and then he's like, oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
What?
No. That's exactly you nailed it. No pun. You did. That's exactly what I do, because it's almost like I'm questioning my, like, okay, I have the same opinion as you, but like, I want to make sure we're exploring every avenue. So I'm going to ask a lot of questions, and I don't, sometimes it's like, okay, I think this is right, but I don't know. Anyway, let's
It's
we're going to give you an example of it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The most important step in nails. Let's talk about, first of all, like, when you break down doing nails, there's preparation, there's the application,
Yep.
and there's the finishing.
Yep.
Okay. Now, is there actually one area more important to the other? Aren't they all important? They're all important. I mean, how can you say that one is going to be the most important, Tracy? See, I'm starting.
Because I can.
But that's not a good argument, because I can't. I need evidence and I need facts. I want support. I want backup.
Oh, you sound like my algebra teacher. I'm like, here's the answer. They're like, how'd you get it? I'm like, I don't know. It's the answer.
Yeah. We gotta explain. We need to actually get into this. And this is important, because when somebody's starting out, right, we want them to, obviously, getting all these areas is huge.
Yes.
Preparation is huge.
Yes.
Application is all important, right? But would you say that one area is more important than the other?
Yes.
You said that. There wasn't even a yes and a no. This was like, yes. Now, see, this is very interesting. Okay. What would you say is the most important step out of all of them?
Prep.
Like hands down?
Hands down. Well, it's all important, but if I'm going to put one in front of the other.
Yeah, if you're forced to.
Yeah, it's prep. And I have my reasons. Okay,
we're going to talk about those reasons, but that it's just like, it seems boring, like a prep, right? I can imagine I'm just being real, as a beginner, somebody's like, dude, I want to learn how to sculpt. I want to drop that pearl on the nail. That's like the exciting stuff, right? Like, I want to create a beautiful nail. And even finishing, you know how much, actually we have a video of, I think Greg does a pro teaches beginner with me, and it's like, I hate filing.
You do. You despise it.
I hate it. Part of it's because I'm not good at it. I can't see the finished nail like Tracy and Greg and a lot of pros do. I can't see it, so I don't know what the hell I'm doing when I'm filing. I can't stand it. I like picking up the pearl and laying it down. That shit is fun. Prep, boring. Finishing,
I love
boring.
Prep. I really do love prep.
Really?
Yeah, because it's kind of like, you push back that cuticle and you take your electric file and you start cleaning up the cuticle, and it's satisfying. Yeah, I find it that. Yeah.
What bit do you use? Okay, all right. Tell me why before we start getting off into like this conversation of prep. Why is it, in your opinion, Tracy? Why is it the most important step?
Because it doesn't matter what it looks like when you apply it. It doesn't matter what it looks like when you file it. If it's a beautiful nail, if you didn't prep right, that sucker's coming off. So it doesn't matter.
So, okay. All right. Okay. This is the foundation. So like, much like a house, like that's always the analogy, right? A beautiful home with no foundation is basically going to crumble.
Crashes down.
Okay. And have you seen examples over and over again of someone who does not have good prep is just, they're not going to have success in nails. You've seen this over and over again.
Right. If you can build a beautiful nail, and a lot of people can, and yet your clientele keeps on having to come back because they're getting lifting. And if they're getting lifting, then maybe they're getting moisture, which leads to little greenies, and it runs into problems, and they're constantly having to come in. It really doesn't matter that the nail is beautiful. No one wants to have to deal with that over and over. It happens, and we have to adjust, and we make, not everything sticks on everybody. We make the adjustments. But if this is just a continual problem, it really, in the end, after a while, your client's going to be like, she does beautiful work. I'm going to find someone else that my nails will stay.
Okay. That makes sense to me. Okay. But if it's the most important step, now I'm going to get obsessive over prep. You're telling me it's the most important step. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to think about it. When I go to bed, I'm going to prep. I'm going to prep out my brain so that all I'm thinking about is prep. And then when I get my client in front of me, I'm going to be just thinking, Tracy said this is the most important step. I'm going to just obsess on this and like every little detail. And then I end up spending 30 minutes on prep.
SpongeBob say 3 hours later.
Exactly.
No, and I did it myself. Like I would spend 20, 30 minutes on prep. Like
because it's a very important step.
It's a very important.
You don't want lifting as a nail tech.
And you start freaking out. So you'll do your prep, especially when I switched to the electric file. Because for 6 years I didn't use an electric file for prep. So once I switched, I started getting like, oh my gosh, I used the electric file, but I feel like that was too fast. So I'm going to go back with a hand file.
Oh, yeah.
And I prep some more. And like, you just start repeating these steps because you're getting obsessive about it, not realizing thorough prep does not equal a lot of time.
Okay.
And we recently had a video where we mentioned this, and I got some direct messages like, you say that, but if I want to make sure that I'm doing prep right, I have to take the time.
Right.
Yes and no. It really, for me, prep takes about 2 to 5 minutes. That's pushing back the cuticles, using the electric file, swiping it clean, and protein bonding twice. But it is completely thorough.
Okay, but that is with using an electric file, right? Like you are recommending, obviously to save time, you got to use an e-file 2 to 5 minutes because that's where you're going to get the speed, right?
Well, and even if you're using a hand file, it shouldn't take you that long. It still shouldn't take you. But let me explain why the electric file works the best. You are trying to tuck a big old hand file into the very cuticle. Cuticle is where I always start when I am prepping. Always, because it's the most important area to make sure is nice and clean and free of any debris. So I always start there. If you use a big hand file, you're trying to tuck it right back in there. You've seasoned it so you're not slicing your customer, and you're blind on top of it because the file is in the way.
Yeah, you can't see.
An electric file, the bit is nice and small. It's shaped so it can just tuck right back there. You can see what you're doing. That's why I like the electric file for it. Can you prep with a hand file? I did it for 6 years. Did it still take me 20 to 30 minutes? Eventually, no, because I realized it wasn't necessary. It is going to take you longer than using an electric file, though.
Yeah, I think there's a big misconception. Not anymore. So not anymore. I think utilizing an e-file in your service today is a lot more acceptable than it was like 5, 6, 7, 10 years ago. 10 years ago was
absolutely.
it was like crazy, right?
Oh, people walk in and they're like, no, I don't want you using that. I mean, it was really...
Yeah, people were fearful, right?
Yeah.
And but I think that like when you or Greg takes it and then you like do the just right on the underneath like the palm, like right on the wrist, you realize actually how gentle it is. And then the shape of obviously the bits that you use to prep to get in there, you're right. Like first of all, I hate filing. Right? I've already mentioned that. But how can you get into the cuticle area? It's really, I mean, you can do it, but it's hard. It's going to be difficult.
Way more difficult. And for anyone that's out there that's watching this and like, I'm scared of the electric file, or maybe you're a customer and you're like, I don't want them using electric. My number one, I love the feeling of cleaning up my cuticle with the electric file. I think you've seen me. I just sit here and clean my cuticle. I'm not even doing my nails. I just like... It shouldn't hurt. I like the feeling of it, and it cleans it thoroughly. So
I'm having these visuals right now because Tracy also likes to watch these videos on YouTube of like doctors like cleaning pores and popping zits. It's
amazing.
disgusting to me.
Ingrown toenails.
Oh my
So fun.
God.
It's so relaxing to me.
I'm speechless. For once, I'm speechless.
Let's talk about it some more.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so you enjoy that feeling. Weird. But
But I've done it on you.
You have. I
You don't have to
understand.
like the feeling, but does it hurt?
No, it does not hurt at
Yeah.
all. I think that's the thing is that type of prep is extremely thorough because you are getting in there,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not to the point where it's dangerous, but you're getting in there, and it's very comfortable and it's fast.
Yeah.
You're using the tool to get speed. Okay, but if somebody has great prep and then they don't build a proper upper arch.
Well, then we have problems too.
Right, but I guess what you're saying is lifting is like probably number one enemy. Like if somebody comes to the salon and they get a service from you and they walk away and they come back in 3 days and go, I have lifting in like 3 areas. That's like worst nightmare.
Worst
right?
nightmare, or they popped off. I because I've been reading DMs and people, hey, I go to this lady, I love her work, but my nails only last a week and they start popping off. Well, of course, I start asking questions. Are there teeth marks in them? Like things like that. But she they really like their nail tech. But if you're getting constant lifting and problems, then it's just, again, it's the foundation of the house.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't matter what your kitchen looks like if it's going to fall down.
That's right. And I think based on a lot of the direct messages that we're getting in comments and like lifting, you've been seeing those come through quite a bit lately,
Yeah.
correct? If you do not have your preparation down, if you do not have it thorough, you're going to have issues. Now, it is a little bit of a I don't know. It's a little confusing. It can be because it's like, well, do it fast, but do it thorough, right? Which is why I was asking that question. If you find yourself overthinking it and doing it for 30 minutes, that's also bad.
Yeah.
Because now you're like you're nitpicking, you're getting way too obsessed on it. That's not good either.
Yeah.
So you've got to have the speed down, but you've also got to be thorough. It's both, correct?
Correct. You have to trust what you did. So, if you've pushed back the cuticles, do not pick that cuticle pusher back up. There's no need. You move on. If you've already electric filed and prepped the nail, there's no need to go back. Move on. You have to trust that you did the steps thoroughly. That's where people cost themselves time, is they go back to something.
You know what? It's just that fear, right? It's you can't do nails and just be in constant fear. You do them, you don't go back, and then if somebody comes back with a problem, then you assess it, look at it and go, oh, okay, I see what happened there. You fix it and
You
then
adjust.
you just keep going.
Yep.
Or else you're never going to get a set of nails. We did a vlog on this this past weekend, the 4-hour nail service, and Tracy talked about how it, initially it took her 4 or 5 hours to do a set of nails. And a lot of people, as we saw in the comments, oh my God.
They feel that.
They feel it. They're like, I thought there was something wrong with me.
No.
But in the beginning, it's going to take you that long amount of time
Yep.
because you're probably spending an insane amount of time on prep and the application and then the filing. I can relate. It would probably take me that long to do a set of nails. But you've got to start to chip away. You know what I mean? Like you just have a goal in mind. Like it's okay right now. You're starting out. But shave that time. Prep is the most important part. And I just, you know what? It's because of that. As soon as you said house foundation, I was like, damn it, she's right. But it's true.
It is true.
It's like you could, if you have amazing prep and you're using good product out there, and maybe your nails are a little flat, right? Or maybe there's whatever. Maybe you have issues with sculpting. Maybe they're a little blocky, but you don't file them all too well. They still might hold up, right?
Right. And
If your prep is good.
Here's the best part. if you notice that it's flat, you can add more.
Right.
Once product is on, you cannot go back and prep.
Right. That's exactly right. So your prep that foundation's got to be set the right way, or else you've got zero chance of success.
Yeah.
If you're having those issues, focus on the prep. Tracy's correct. It's the most important step. I'm not happy about it, but she knows a little something about nails, so I will say, let us know in the comments below your take on preparation. How long does it take you? What are you doing to save time? Do you use an electric file? We want to know all those things. Tracy, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the Biz Talk.